I bought 0 sports cards in the month of January, and I'll tell you why. Hey, it's Mike. Thanks for tuning back in. So, if you had guessed how many sports cards I bought in the month of January, it probably would have been dozens. That's a pretty standard month for me. I buy a lot of cheap cards. I buy the occasional, somewhat expensive card, but I got 3 weeks into January and realized, wow, I haven't bought a single card. And then it kind of became a bit of a challenge once I realized I was 2/3 of the way through the month. And I thought, let's see if I can go a whole month without buying a card. And I did. Now, why did this happen and how? And what does it mean for me? I still love cards. I was reading about cards. I was shopping for cards. I was looking at cards every day. Every single day. I still do 4 to 5 videos a week. I still do. I started a newsletter this month. By the way, subscribe to my newsletter. Link in description of this video. It's free. I do it weekly. Lots of news and fun stuff. So I did do a PSA DNA reveal, but those were sent in 6 months ago. I think I did a PSA reveal as well. Those were sent in several months ago. So technically, I guess I did pay for cards because I had to pay for both of those orders. But, I had a bigger than expected tuition bill for my oldest child, and Christmas and all kinds of stuff. And it just, it got really expensive. And once I started thinking about buying cards again, it was into the last third of January. And so then I thought, well, I'll go to the card show on Sunday. But no, I'm leaving for Dallas on Sunday. I'm actually going to Mike Moynihan's place Sunday evening in Dallas. We had originally planned on doing a YouTube sleepover, but then I was asked to help set up for work Monday morning. So I won't be spending the night at Mike's house, unfortunately, or fortunately for them, I guess. So really excited to go there. I intend to find a card shop, and I just got a message from Bean's Ball Card blog offering to meet me up. So I need to send him a private message and find a card shop that's close to the hotel I'm staying at. Never been to Texas. Been to Oklahoma once, but never been to Texas. So I'd love to go to a card shop. I'm still wanting to buy cards. I think a month ago I shared my goal is more of the bigger cards, not in size, but like my Ted Williams 49 Leaf. I want more of those, not of the Ted Williams, but just I want to have a collection. And I'm recording Hobby Think Tank tonight with John Keating, and we're going to talk about set collecting versus singles collecting. Because he's a set collector, I'm a singles collector, and part of the reason that I'm a singles collector is space. And you look at John, his basement is loaded with cards. He has an amazing, amazing setup and collection. I just don't have that kind of space, unfortunately. I mean, I'm set up here in the corner. I have a wall that's half painted with magnetic paint. My kids years ago. And I just have a cabinet for my cards, so I don't have the space to be a set collector. And so I have to really shape my collection through my space limitations. And that means not having sets, not having a lot of cards that take up a lot of space that I'm not passionate about. And so I think a lot before I buy a card, and I was on eBay a lot this month, and I would look at a card and say, do I need this card? No, I don't. And ultimately, that's what I need to do for myself before I get into a position where I'm needing to offload cards, which I'm in already. I offloaded a lot last summer. I need to offload a lot of lots this year because they're taking up so much space in their 1988 Donruss Red Sox team set, things like that. I love the Red Sox. I love 88 Donruss. But do I need those cards? No. A lot of Wade Boggs cards from the 80s. I've started doing binders, which is great. I love binders. But I spent a lot of money in January, a fair amount of money in January on binder-related things. So I hope to have some time to get into that soon. I actually went in, I watch a lot of cards on eBay all the time. I see a card I'm interested in, I want to know what it's going to sell for, and I'll watch it. It doesn't mean I'm interested in buying it necessarily, but I just want to know what's the market for this card. And so I actually went in and unwatched dozens of cards in January that I had watched potentially years ago that are still there. Like, what are these sellers doing? And that didn't really fit in what I want to do with my collection anymore. And they did 2 years ago. And it really makes me wonder, where will my collection be, and what I aim for, what I shop for 2 years from now, if my collection has changed so much in the last 2 years. I don't think it's going to change dramatically, but I don't know. I feel like I've settled in at a nice, comfortable spot in the hobby world. I did buy Kung Fu, the Nintendo game. I don't have it yet, but if you were in my newsletter last week, you would have seen that. I also bought a Red Sox program with a Yaz autograph on it. I also showed that off in my newsletter last week. But I also had an amazing January in my YouTube channel in January. And so in my newsletter next week, I'm going to say I made X number of dollars on YouTube. After taxes, that equates to this much. What do you think I should do with that money? Should I buy, and I'll do a poll, should I buy one card with that money, or should I buy 2 to 4 cards or 5+ cards, something like that. So if you want to be a part of that, subscribe to the newsletter, and you can vote. You can get your word, your opinion included. Yeah, it's interesting. I was a little surprised when I realized I hadn't bought a card in so long. I actually went into a card shop. I'm not going to say which because I don't want him to get inundated with requests like this, but I went up to the bargain bin, and there were 3 cards in there that I wanted. And these cards were all junk wax, a quarter each maybe. And so I went up to pay for them, and he said, take them, they're free. So I was going to buy 3 cards, but fortunately I got them for free. Card shop, hopefully in next week in Dallas. I am planning on going to the Shriner show in April. I would love to buy a big card in February, and I need your help deciding what that card's going to be. Comments are active on my newsletter as well, even though they're not great. Beehive, the newsletter company that manages this, is still working on the comment section. They're trying to improve that. So hopefully in the next month or 2, it'll be easier to comment and follow a comment conversation. But yeah, it was a weird month for me. I'm curious to know, did you buy as much as you normally do? Do you think it was just the post-holidays dry spell, lack of money? Are you still as interested in cards as you were? I know I am, but if you're not, I'm curious to know that. Or did you buy more? Are you feeling yourself buying more? I'm hearing that card shows are extremely busy, and cards are moving fast at card shows right now. So maybe the market is up and things are good in the hobby. We'll see. All right. Thanks very much for watching.